Okay. So we recorded a few weeks ago about thinking like a CEO. And I was thinking incorrectly when we did that first one. And I was like, I really think this is Dylan's sweet spot in the CEO space. And then as we were talking through it, I realized that's one you have to kind of work at. I feel like this one, COO, is really your natural gifting and your natural space. What do you say to that?
You want to be wrong again?
Maybe.
Yeah. No, I think I'm just morphing. I'm
Okay.
I'm morphing into a CEO
Yes.
as more of my focus and energy.
That requires
and
you
thinks
to?
about people and people growth and where we're headed. But this was maybe where I started. I think my mind was more, how do we operate in excellence
Yeah.
and efficiency
Yeah.
and proficiency. And so, yeah, I've had to learn to wear both those hats. Frankly, I've had to learn to wear the CFO
A
hat
hat
too.
as well. Yes.
Again, like most of our agents, we don't have a Fortune 500 company.
Right.
And so you
Wear
get
all the hats.
You get to be several things.
Yeah. I after I was processing it after last time, I was like, no, I do think of you when I think of systems. Like, and that is the kind of you see the path to how to get things done. So you're a good system creator. So you do really live in this space kind of more naturally, I feel like. Yeah.
Well, it's my Colby strength.
Yeah.
That is my dominant Colby, the 7 follow through.
Uh-huh.
So
Yeah,
that's
good.
the highest number I've got is a 7.
I have 2 8s, but okay, we're going to keep going.
Congratulations.
Yeah. I don't know if it's good or bad. Okay, so what is a CEO? So COO, what do they need to be thinking about? What's their main job? As I said, I kind of think your natural gifting. What is their main role? What do they need to be focused on?
It might be best to think of it in reference to the others.
Yeah,
Like
it's
if
kind of helpful to always point out the differences.
Because all 3 of them function as a sort of a triad, right? And need all 3 roles. If a CEO is about where we're going and who we need, the people, and a CFO is about like resource allocation.
Yeah.
What do we need? How much do we have? Then I think the COO is all about how. It's the how are we going to get there? It's the what's working, the what's not working.
Yeah.
It's the mechanism. It's the machine.
Yeah.
So a great COO sees the machine, understands the machine. They know where we're going, even though they're not really that focused on figuring out where we should be going.
Yeah.
Now that I know where we're going, what do we need to get there?
What do we need to do to get
What
there?
are the steps? How do we make it all come together? How do we make it function well?
Yeah, that's good. So, I really do. If we're talking about kind of all of them holistically, right? So I love the way that the picture looks with these above the 3 departments, right? So I really feel like where the COO plays a significant role is like, now we know where we're going. My CFO will tell me what resources we have to do it. But it really is, I really feel like this person is above each of those like leads, transactions, and your marketing departments. And they're constantly just kind of looking out and above all of those departments and going, what is working in those spaces? What more do we need to be doing to make the systems and the processes work better? That's the way I picture it in my head.
Well, I love the 3 pillars. That was a great realization for us as we were building this, as we're thinking about our real estate agents, and we're trying to frame what the COO does, and to recognize that the 3 pillars, your leads department, your marketing department, and your transaction or your service. It's really
sales,
all
service.
organizations. If you look at the org chart, need sales, they need marketing, and they need service in various capacities. And so, I do think that's a smart way to think about it. Our CEO is worried about the individuals and the leadership and how they can build the people and empower and motivate and inspire. The COO is looking at where all the people fit.
Yes.
How it all structured and how we can ensure that what needs to get done is getting done the correct channels. And in a real estate business, those are your principal channels.
Yeah.
You got to have your lead systems, your lead structure together. We've got to figure out how do they provide a remarkable client experience to our clients as they come into our machine and all of our processes and systems to create that remarkable outcome that the CEO decided this is how we're doing our business. And then we've got to figure out how to not just market ourselves and our business, but we've got to figure out how to market our properties.
Yeah, that's good.
And so, I love those 3 pillars because they provide a lot of clarity. I think not all of the COO's job is that as a realtor, but I do think that's a very,
the way that go ahead.
Every month I have department meetings.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? And as the CEO, I'm meeting with various department heads and their teams to help them figure out how they're doing what they're doing. Well, I've got a bunch of those departments as a real estate agent running my business with 1 person or with 20. It doesn't matter. you do have those three departments. And as the COO, part of your job is to meet with and think through, even if you're meeting with yourself.
But with yourself, yes, exactly.
Those departments to think through what's working, what's not, how do we make this function in order to get to where we're trying to go.
Yeah, exactly. So I want to dig into that rhythm a little bit more, because I think that's the important piece for people to hear is you are probably wearing all of these three strategic hats, right? You are wearing the CEO, the COO, and the CFO hat. And when people realize that, I feel like then they struggle to imagine what that time looks like, right? So it's all about this scheduling time, like you said, monthly, I think monthly and quarterly, and then throughout the year, there's some other kind of rhythms to that. But when you sit down as a COO on a monthly, quarterly basis, what strategic thinking are you working on? Because I think people fail or struggle to imagine some of that. So the department lens is one way to look at that. But what else should a COO be thinking about?
Well, it's really hard for me to improve on what we have written inside the module for the COO. And so if you don't have that in front of you, I'd strongly encourage you to look at it. But
agreed.
I'm just going to actually read some of the core responsibilities.
Yeah, helps frame it. Yeah,
we covered the first one, your core responsibility as a COO. Now we're thinking in the context of running your real estate business, right? Mm-hmm. Is own and improve the three pillars. That's your lead management, your marketing, and transaction.
Yeah, that's good.
Which is really three departments, right? It's sales, marketing, and service. Mm-hmm. To build and maintain standard operating procedures that support execution. So we talk about SOPs a lot. It's a very COO term.
Right. And people definitely shy away or dig in. Like I feel like it's one or the other on that.
And SOP is a horrible name that systems people like.
Yep, me.
But really it's just like, how do we do what we do?
How do we do what we do?
There's a million things we do. And if you just take a minute to write down how you do what you do, what are the steps? Then you've got something that you can measure against and improve and tweak in time. So that's just all an SOP is.
Yep, it's not so scary.
Well, it's scary when you look at your whole business and hear this stupid acronym. It's not scary if you just take it a piece at a time.
One thing at a time.
Meet with one department and think about one part of what we're doing and ask ourselves, how does this work and how can we make it better?
Exactly.
They ensure clarity of roles and processes. Mm-hmm. And
you might be all the roles, but I mean,
you might be all the roles. Mm-hmm. SOPs would be the processes, but you don't have to get so technical even as an SOP. You could just go like, how do we do this? How do we meet with, how do we handle our process of ensuring that buyers are getting access to new listings as they show up on the market?
Yep.
Look at the process. Ask what's working, what's not. That would be a standard. Now, the role part is, as we start to
think about adding people to backfill some of these spots,
that takes us back to team. So we're sitting here in systems, but if I think about team, a great COO of a company of one running their business in Century 21 is going, okay, well, how am I leveraging my ASC and my TC and my reload team and
clarity
my broker?
Of roles, right?
You have a team of several people day one, including your education department.
Yeah.
And so, a great COO is asking, do I have role clarity on what I do versus what they do? Mm-hmm. And am I meeting with them and understanding how I interact with what they do so that it's being done well?
Yeah, absolutely.
So I've got the three pillars. I've got SOPs. I've got ensuring clarity of roles and processes, audit client experiences to deliver consistency. This is about, because our mandate as a real estate agent or team lead is to deliver remarkable client experiences. Part of what a COO is doing is not just looking at your internal systems. You're looking at your client, the outcomes.
Actual experience felt, right? The experience is felt by your clients.
It's a little bit like if you were building widgets, it would be the COO's job would be to meet with the compliance and the product quality department, right?
Yeah.
And they'd go, okay, like how many defects do we have? What
are the
is
customers reporting?
Experience?
Feedback. Yes.
So, for us, a large part of that is a front stage audit, and I think the COO is owning that. Now, the CEO might be working alongside you on that.
Make sure it's on the right track.
Man, I've got an idea. What if we did this?
Yeah. Yep.
But I definitely think that for a real estate agent, the best way to think about this is your three pillars. How do we do what we do? And what is the customer experience so that I can then ensure that the way I'm building my machine serves those outcomes and is always driving that bar upward.
Yeah. So if you can get that point of reference, right, like those core responsibilities, you kind of understand what your eyes and your all the things you need to be, your head needs to be focused on when you're scheduling this time to be the COO. Now that you have clarity of like what the responsibilities are and what this person does, right? Like I'm scheduling this time, I'm sitting down at a coffee shop on a quarterly basis. I'm going, okay, I have 90 minutes and I'm going to be the COO of my company right now.
It sounds hard, doesn't
right?
it?
It sounds kind of bizarre, but it really is the way to get your brain to really start operating and thinking as the business owner who is wearing all these 3 strategic hats. It really helps to go, okay, this is COO time. So when I'm sitting down and I know that these are my spaces, what kinds of things and then am I asking myself or what processing as I'm sitting down during this 90-minute time of strategic thinking?
Yeah, again, it's about assessing the machine, right?
Right.
So we've got this machine, and I mean, sometimes we don't even know we've got a machine. We're just doing what we do.
It's so true. So true.
So part of this might be stepping back and just going, okay, how does this machine that I just automate and do what I do work? But again, I'm just going to read a bunch of these questions because I think they're really good. Mm-hmm. So strategic questions, and when we provided guidance on this, I think our suggestion was schedule the time.
Yep.
Bring what you need for that to be your space, whether it's a front stage audit or whatever it might be.
Or your SOP or whatever it may be.
And then pick 1 or 2 strategic thinking questions.
Yes.
That might sound like a challenge because you could just be flippant about these questions. But if you're not flippant about them and you actually dig in and ask yourself the question authentically and honestly and break it apart in the various spaces of what you do, there's actually a lot of depth to each of these. So question number 1 would be, are our systems supporting a consistent high-quality client experience? You might play with that a little bit, like where is it? Where is it not? How could it be better? Front stage audit's perfect for that. What's working and not working? That's the fundamental question.
Fundamental question COO
right?
is asking. Yes. What could run better today? Yeah.
But we could play with that. What's working? What's not working in our processes, in our execution, in our outcomes? Where are we doing what we think we should be doing, but we're not getting the right outcome? Where are our KPIs not in alignment with what we really want?
I think of the client experience there. I think I'm like, okay, so we're doing a great job. We're getting lots of buys and sells and whatever, but we're not getting that second sell. We're not turning people into advocates. What are we missing in our process to make that better, right?
Yeah. I love these next 2. Where are clients or team members getting stuck or frustrated? So either where's a process that our clients, we keep seeing our clients bump their shins against this, that I could maybe build a better system, process, or communication earlier in the funnel that would help alleviate that. But also where am I? Where's our team getting stuck or frustrated? Another great version of that question is, what problems are we repeatedly solving?
Yeah, so that's so good.
Well, problems are problems.
Why are you just continuing to have the same thing over and over? Like, try to fix it. Like, what can you do?
Yeah, you're silly if you're frustrated when you have a problem, because what you're paid to do is solve problems, and that's why you're worth anything. Otherwise, we don't need you. The world is good without you. Mm-hmm. Problems are great. We solve problems for a living. When you keep having the same problem over and over again, now you've got a system problem.
Yep.
Yeah. It's almost always a system problem, to be
Yes.
honest, especially if there's a repeat. And that's one of the disciplines I've had to learn over the years is looking for not just repeat, but when is the thing a system problem? Mm-hmm. And almost always, if you look at it, you can blame a person, mm-hmm. you could blame a situation, you could blame a market, you could blame whatever the outcome that you're getting that's wrong. There's all sorts of ways to point fingers, but almost always, if you trace it backwards, you're going to see something in a process that could have been different, that would have produced mm-hmm. a different outcome. Yeah. So the clue to look for here is, where am I repeatedly bumping my shins on something that I need to backtrack to the further upstream and find out the source of the real problem? What recurring issues point to deeper system flaws? That's what I just covered.
That's good.
I like this. Which operational pillar? So my leads, my transaction, or my marketing. And I really want to start thinking of that as sales, service and marketing. Mm-hmm. Which of those pillars might need more attention?
Yep.
Are processes being followed or just documented? This is maybe a bigger deal if you've got a larger team, right? But the more people you've got involved, the more you...
Like, we have this documented. Is it actually happening the way it's supposed to be happening? Or are we just doing? Yeah.
Sure. And I don't know, I am guilty of, because I'm a systems guy, and I see this in other people as well. Sometimes I just build a system because I want to document a process. Yeah. But the reality on the ground, like,
is it doesn't work?
There's a saying, the map is not the territory.
Yeah.
And so you can look at the map, and it can all be perfect and have it laid out. But once you actually land, you parachute down with your with your rifle, and you're marching through the jungle. You're like, wait, this
does not work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so the best laid systems and plans and processes on the ground may not be working because it doesn't function that way.
Yeah, that's so true.
Or it could be because someone's not following the script.
Yeah.
You might be the one not following the script. You might be the one that believes in the mayor campaign, believes in the referral dialogue. But when you actually get to that point in the process, you're like, I'm never going to say that thing.
No. Okay.
So that's a system problem.
Yeah.
So now we're going to ask ourselves, why am I not saying that thing? Am I a chicken? Do I not really believe this? Or do I need a script that I believe better?
Yeah.
That's a perfect example at a very, very base level.
No, it's great.
Of what a COO would do. The CEO believes, hey, we're going to work by referral. The COO goes, why the heck are we not doing that script? Well, it could be one of several things. Let's take a look at the process, ask ourselves honestly, what would make this process work better, tweak it as necessary, and then implement, measure, and play the same game a few months later.
It's so good. Yeah, it's all about, this system space, right? Like in thinking strategically is all the things that you're stepping out of the day-to-day of your business. So you're like in your business all the time. This is the forced space and time to step out of your business and work on it, right? Like, and I really do see that person like COO, like above some of those other things and looking down and going, okay, what's working and what's not working? And these things, when you answer these questions, and again, pick one or two, you're not going to do all of those every single time. That's not the goal. But what this does become is it can reveal things that then become, okay, so that's something we now know what the problem is. We think we have some ideas of how to fix it. And this is where, again, if you're setting goals and you're thinking strategically with your like rocks and like planning on what you're going to go get done in the next quarter, this is how you know what you need to go work on because of what this process reveals. Yeah, I'm get so nerdy about this. I'm excited about.
Yeah, because I think you see it playing out in a larger environment, and I think you believe in it because it makes sense. I think there's a real disconnect here for our team members on all the CEO, CFO, CEO.
It's so ethereal and up here.
Correct.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I think that part of the problem there is we're just a generation. Well, first of all, we're a generation that lacks 15-second things that we just scroll and scroll and scroll. I want a nugget, and it can be entertained by it. Nobody wants to read Plato today. So this just seems so abstract and non-tangible or practical. Yeah. But I think what you got to get to is a place where you understand that if you ask yourself the right questions and you get clarity on what's actually going on under the hood, whether it's where we're going, how we're getting there, or how we're allocating resources, everything trickles down from there. So yes, these questions might feel, the planning prompts as well that we have next to that, they all might seem really, really big. And I think what we want is something that produces an immediate, tangible answer. Here's 3 apps that you can use, or here's 2 things you can change. Most great insight doesn't work that way. It just starts with taking the time to be willing to be bored and look into something and ask yourself, what could be better here? And the discipline of forcing yourself to have that time over time produces compounding impact for the smallest or largest business. There's a reason that large companies have people that do nothing inside those companies other than ask these questions.
Yes.
And it's not different for you. You might be a one-person company, but somebody has to be asking
these questions.
Where are we going? Who are the people? Someone has to be asking what's working, what's not. And it's a discipline. So this is why I think, as crazy as it sounds, 90 minutes a month, make it an hour. And if you can't do that, make it 30 minutes.
Yeah.
But block the time.
Yes.
Because in time, what you're going to see is clarity start to emerge by forcing yourself to ask the questions.
Get in the habit of doing that and setting up the right structure from the beginning, even when you believe that this is not for you yet, or whatever that may be. I think the structure is what needs to happen.
It's a big ask for our people. They're busy.
Yeah.
But we're not telling you to do something that we're not doing. We're not telling you to do something that isn't going to help you long term. So it's a discipline. It's like everything else. Are you willing to take the time to sharpen the axe before you run around swinging it?
And I think at the ground level, one of the ways that I can just say to get started, one of the resources that we have that's a really good way to get started, a couple of things. One, what are the 21 SOPs that I should start with? We have a document that kind of lists those, and maybe it just gets your brain thinking about what the SOPs that you should be working on are. And that could be something that you go on a journey of just documenting for an entire year. You're different, like just take 1 year to do a few of those, right? Like just start somewhere, create the space to work on it. I know you're looking at me like I'm such a nerd, but start somewhere. This is what I help people do. Find the things to start with,
I'm
right?
chuckling because I'm like, disagreeing with myself in my own head. I'm like, this is so hard. You should
It's really
schedule
not. There's things that are like very approachable
sit down
in
and
the
ask
way that we
yourself
do this.
what's working, what's not.
Yes.
The reason you don't see what's not working is just
you're not asking
you
yourself.
just haven't asked. Once you start asking, it just starts popping up.
Yeah.
There's always stuff that can be improved. So, but I mean, I love the strategic questions.
Yep.
I love the planning prompts. Those are like pick one or two, and I love the strategic focus. Like pick one or two of these ideas to focus on. And all that's doing is, instead of going, what's working, what's not, your brain really struggles with that.
Yeah.
It's
too
just
big.
saying what's working or what's not here, or
Yes.
what's working or what's not from this framework.
Get small. I mean, maybe that's the easier way to look at it than the big.
Well, it's like the referral question. I mean, if you ask the wrong question, you're going to get the wrong
answer.
It's framing your brain towards something more tangible for you to go take a look at and audit.
Yeah,
So,
I agree. Create the space. It doesn't have to be as big as you think it is. Ask yourself, take the time to ask yourself what could run better today. Use the amazing resources that we have in here for you. There's such good resources in the other sections as well. But to Dylan, I'm going to kind of have you close as I think you've already given some really, really good tips about just where to start. Don't overthink it. Just create the space. Take even 30 minutes to get started. What would be the next, because we have good just like book reading resources or other things, what would be the next thing that you would say is the number one tip on getting started thinking like a COO?
I already gave the best tip.
You're like, and I'm already done.
Just shut up and do it.
Okay, that's a good one.
Schedule the time. I mean, I'm looking at the books and I was just thinking this through. Again, one of the struggles that real estate agents have is that at your level of business, so many of the resources that are available at the book level are really aimed at something slightly higher than you.
Yeah.
That's why I think books like Millionaire Real Estate Agent and Shift did so well, because they were targeted specifically at agents. But there's not been much released lately that aims at that. My favorite books on the systems side, I love Traction. We operate on the EOS operating system. It's a little above a lot of agents' thinking, but the nuggets in there are true regardless.
And we know some people that are using some
we
of
have
those
a couple of
in
agents
their agent
using
businesses.
that as a team. The E-Myth Revisited is kind of a 101 COO book.
Yeah.
It's like, you got to think of your business, even if you're a team of one, you got to think of all the roles. You got to think of the org chart, all the functions being fulfilled. And that's a great framework. I mean, I've got Caden running his clothing company. He's a team of one, 1.5. My wife works for him a couple days a week. And he's now got he's got a manufacturing department out in LA. And so really he has a team of several now. But you wouldn't know that if you didn't think about it that way.
Yeah.
And so as a COO, he's got an org chart and he's looking at the different roles and he's getting role clarity. And
he's putting his name in all the spots that he's currently playing.
And that's true for every one of our agents here. You have a team more than you think, and you have systems more than you think, kind of like you have scripts more than you think. All of those things are actually in place. You just got to have the eyes to see it. So I love the E-Myth Revisited because that provides a lot of clarity. And then two of my favorite books to get you thinking about your business right is The Advantage by Patrick Lencioni.
Okay.
That's one of my favorites. And then if you really want to get nerdy, Scaling Up is a terrific book that actually is you'd like it because it's very systematic. It kind of runs through the business in a very organized structure and helps you think at a much higher level. So I'd say those are great. And then the resources you've got, Angela, are terrific, right? The SOP Builder, Front Stage Audit is a no-brainer for this area.
Yeah, Front Stage Audit is one of my favorites here, for sure.
But the easiest part here, schedule the time, ask
the
the question, what's working, what's not, and this resource you guys have here is terrific.
Yeah, and let us, honestly, this is one that nerds like me get really excited about this. So if you want some more direction, need to have somebody sit with you and help you think through some of these things, I'm happy to do that with you.
I love how nerd is like a compliment these days.
I love it. Thank you.